I'm your Black Lex today, baby. Now you ain't never gotta like me, that shit is overrated. You need a hero to love, I'll be the villain that you hated. When it's all said and done, you gon' love me. Me kissing babies, fucking ladies thinking of me. Cause I'm the villain, the bad guy, the one that's supposed to lose. But I'm American, baby, so the rules all skewed for me. Steal your identity, fuck up your credit for free. Police know it's stolen, but they still make you pay the fee. And you don't respect me, for real? I'm the one that's showing you what the real world is. All these backroom deals for your kids' future. My financial aid hustle keep your kids mooching. And why you motherfuckers still stupid? The Statue of Liberty married the country, divorced and now the bitch still moving. With half of the money, alimony, child support. You know what's up when I be winning in the court, cause I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H-N-I-C, everybody wants to be. Damn right, I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H-N-I-C, everybody wants to be. They try to tell me thou shalt not steal. In the same church they tell me Jesus white, is they for real? They try to say the land of the free, minus the slavery, plus the fact that you pay for land these folks stole for free. And you wanna be Superman. Did you forget that Lex Luthor became the president? You lacking common sense, that's why the villain lives. That's why the villain's right. They turn on Superman, man, they turn on Jesus Christ. Even the devil got teams like Arizona State, Duke, the state of Jersey. That man say you're sold and he can't get a jersey. Y'all go to church on Sunday and you claim you're worthy. That's why I got my credit and I'm charging 10%. You finish paying me and you gon' pay me triple, bitch. So why'd I be a hero when a villain gets paid? And women like paid, so the villain gets laid. So I'ma be the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H-N-I-C, everybody wants to be. Damn right, I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H-N-I-C, everybody wants to be.
What's happening, y'all? Yeah, that's me. And how's it going with you, fam? It's all good over here. I get home, my wife started talking to me about the Pooh Shiesty situation with Gucci Mane or whatever, and it inspired me to talk about how, you know, you can't be a grown YN. And she was talking, because we were talking about the situation, but she brought up, I was like, these cats are not really street cats like that. And she's like, yeah, he came from that. His father was in the streets. And then I come to find out his father was a part of this whole thing that got him arrested. And it's like, yeah, this idea that y'all can just be in y'all 20, like late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s on this YN kick, that's not real, G. It's not real. Some of y'all cats are aspiring to be a rich YN in a sense, and it's like that's not gonna happen. Now, like I said, I made a video a few days ago about not kicking people when they're down. That's not what I'm trying to do. But when I'm gonna bring light to some things, I'm not gonna say, because I'm 46, I'm not gonna say when I was in my 20s, teenage and 20 years, rappers wasn't doing wild stuff and getting in trouble. That would be a complete lie. But I will say, what's up? I will say that we call people stupid when they were stupid. You know what I'm saying? And this is becoming stupid. And the reason I say the streets from the crack era to now are a completely different thing. And there's the crack era, it was people making money and increasing violence, right? And then the money died down to people just kind of slowly exited left. But then you had an era of young cats who got in it, just for, I guess, the nostalgia, I guess, because it wasn't no money in it. So it was all risk, no reward. And they're doing stuff that is like, bro, it's over with. Like, give it up. But they can't. They gotta try to live out their, street fantasy or whatever. And I could go back to like when I was younger, like when T.I. got caught with them guns. People said he was stupid. They didn't say, and then he got out and he got back in for the drug charge. They said he was stupid. They didn't say like, yo, dog, he being real. No, it's like, this dude's stupid. We got millionaires out here basically throwing their life away because they trying to be hard. And a lot of times, and I'm gonna get to this point where even the image of the street cat or the thug has changed. Like, and I've said it before, too many of you cats look like y'all are either overweight or just bad built. Like y'all frail looking. And thus the whole gun culture, like, and don't get it twisted, guys who was in the streets back in the day, a lot of them, it went from people who can actually fight to a bunch of scary people who had guns. So now the people got less aggressive and they're more scary and they got more guns. You get what I'm saying? So this concept of, being a street dude, it's like y'all being street dudes for nothing. There's no money in it. You people start looking at you like you just dumb and dusty, and it's more of an image than a reality at this point. And I say that getting to the concept of the topic, you can't be a grown YN. And I would say in this modern time, this modern era, people are growing up slower. So I say that because people seem to be mentally slower. People seem to be slower as far as what do you call that? As far as them evolving into adulthood. It's just dumb thing after dumb thing after dumb thing, and then they wake up and they 30 still on this dumb stuff, right? And I'm like, you got to get over this at this point. You got to grow up at this point. And I'm not really talking, I'm a reference the Pooh Shiesty thing in a second, because like Ed was talking about people calling Gucci Man a snitch. It's like, bro, let me explain something to y'all. Snitches are actually people who participate in crimes with you. That's who the snitches are. Like if you got a crew of people and y'all do some shady stuff, y'all do a crime together. If one of them tell on you, that's snitching. But if the person you tried to rob said, yeah, they robbed me, that's not snitching. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with y'all in this culture, and I'm to act like, oh well, you shouldn't tell on me for doing stuff. And now I'm gonna get back into the street culture, the YN thing. A lot of y'all got this stupidity from the underworld and gang culture, where when you on the streets, I could go do something to you. Because I'm in a gang or I got a crew with me, they gonna back me up and they gonna have my back in being dead wrong. That's why there's such thing as, payback and get back, and that's why you have quote unquote ops. You did something to somebody that was wrong, and your crew backed you on it like, well, we don't care, it's wrong, he with us. It's like, okay, somebody finna get hurt. And then y'all go, well, man, we gotta get them for getting us because we got them. It's like, okay, y'all just want to be stupid now. Okay, I get it. Y'all don't stand on anything. So that becomes an issue. And now taking that mentality, into this situation, it's like my issue isn't even with Pooh Shiesty. My issue is with Pooh Shiesty's father. If you're supposed to be such a street cat, you should know this ain't a good street move. You get what I'm saying? That dude might be in his 50s and like, you know what? This is what we gonna do. Yeah, you got a good plan, son. This is what we gonna do. No, this is not that's a horrible move. That is completely stupid. Because either you would have beat him up, forced him into signing the contract, or killed him. Which means you'll never get out of the contract because you can say, I signed it under duress. That's it. That's all he got to say. Yeah, man, they had guns. Look, they didn't rob you didn't robbed all the people around them. They under duress. Hey, man, it was all a scam. It's under duress. And now you got somebody who got an ankle monitor on, and they got guns and they around guns, and there's too many felons in the room. Y'all, no, but this the idea of, I could do what I want to do, and that's part of the street mentality of I could do what I want to do. Can't nobody tell me what to do. I do what I feel like. Can't nobody tell me nothing. It's like, okay. And I say that to say this. Excuse me. There are so many guys, young men, grown men who led the street life, and then when you got locked up, all of a sudden, now you got to follow rules in prison. And I ain't even talking about the guards no, not a gang tell you can't steal. Don't you steal from nobody? Don't you lie on nobody? Don't you be setting people up? Because now you gonna cause so now you can be in the streets in your gang while and doing whatever you want to do. They got your back. But when you get locked up, now you got to follow rules. Because when you're in an environment where other criminal stuff can happen to you. And then it's like, oh well, we locked up together, man. Somebody might stick a shank in your neck if you out here doing the same stuff you was doing on the street. So you can't be doing that stuff. You gotta act like you got some sense. And it's like, oh, okay, right. But if you get out on the street and somebody put a knife in your neck, then it's wrong because you was out here doing whatever you wanted to do, right? And how dare they respond to me being out of pocket? It's like, yeah, y'all tripping, man. You can't be a grown YNG. So for the young cats, here's what I'm gonna say to y'all. Once you take on that YN persona, that thug persona, people just kind of write you off. They just kind of write you off. And the reason I say that is because if you in high school, it's like, you're annoying, but it's a phase. But once you get 18, 19 and up, and you take on the YN persona, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. Get this fool from out of here. Get this fool from out of here. Because, there is no good in being a YN, especially when you're around adults. It's like, man, why are you bringing these dummies around? Because they're usually dumb. And I'm gonna explain this. And like I said, when I was younger, it was the same premise, but there's new, let's just say, language to it now. I saw a thing recently where it's like, listen, man, if you want to get rid of the quote unquote YNs, just tell them that they like men. Because what you're telling us is you go out in public when it's a bunch of women around looking for your ops who's men, and you ruin everybody else's fun and good time because you looking for some dudes. You went out looking for some dudes. It's like, yeah, that was a thing. That's always been a thing. And it's always been funny. Me and this guy are beefing, and me and these people are beefing. So because you beefing with this other group, somebody throws a party, throws an event, goes to a club. Now, both of y'all, both of the signs that are beefing got to be in the same spot, knowing that y'all got an issue. So now everybody else is partying, dancing, having a good time, mingling. And guess what? You ruined it. And I say that because part of the nightlife scene was also that. That's part of why it died too. Like some of y'all are too young to know this. Y'all just turning like 25 or some stuff like that. Y'all don't remember when it was an 18 and up clubs. It was a 21 and up club, and then when the 21 and up club got out of hand, they made 25 and up clubs because it was like, nah, we sick of this. Why end this? You get what I'm saying? We sick of it, and that's what happened because they were like, okay, G, you're not finna come in here, and we got the DJ partying. We got people hooking up, people drinking the party, and now all of a sudden a fight break out. Now all of a sudden it's a shooting in the parking lot. Now the police here. Now the event got to pay insurance and this, that, and the third, and everybody else just gets to run home like nothing ever happened. It's like, nah, we getting rid of y'all. You know, exactly, Dollar Will. Like we getting rid of y'all. We gonna make it so that was part of the dress code thing. Even the problem that people had with the dress code being racist and racial was because it was it went from the dress code was actually about people who were trying to signify their gang life, but then it went to something everybody who you knew what colors were, you knew who had what colors on, you knew what type of hats and jackets match people's affiliations, but it became if you black and you got a hat and you got sneakers, all of y'all. That's basically what happened. So other people was like, man, I'm done with this, and it right. So now you're like, okay, society became an issue. Now getting into the other part of like, you can't be a grown YN. Some of y'all don't realize it until it's too late. If you're gonna be a YN, 9 times out of 10, you ain't gonna have no money. And you ain't gonna have no money, you ain't gonna have a job. And some of y'all think y'all gonna be in the streets. And it's like, you're really not gonna have a place to stay. Because the only places that'll take you in, that'll take your money to stay there, are shady places around other shady people and other shady YNs. So all of the issues and the beefs that you have are really at that point class related, because you can't get out of the neighborhood because you chose the YN direction, right. And that becomes an issue. Like, you go in places, man, why are you wearing that? It's like, bro. And speaking of that, as Dollar Will was talking about, sometimes you go places and people are like, man, don't you wearing this, you wearing that. And it's like, hey, man, and you gotta, like, as an adult, sometimes I would have to watch myself, be like, hey, man, what? Why are you wearing that? It's like, what do you mean? It's an outfit that match. Man, such and such is that. Man, look, I'm grown, man. Shut your bitch ass up. I don't give a damn about you or your gang or your ops. We don't around here. That means around. I don't give a fuck. Like a lot of y'all people who are in the streets, y'all actually think civilians give a fuck about your rules. Man, you ain't supposed to wear this. You ain't supposed to wear that. You don't know where you at. I don't give, bro. You live here. You can't leave this 2, 3, 4 block radius. I don't give a fuck. I came here to either visit somebody, go to a restaurant to get some food, or stop see a friend somewhere. You think I care that you live here, that you sit here all day and night doing this dumb shit? But a lot of y'all, y'all look for issues with other people, and it's like, okay, keep playing. But this is part of the class issue. Like, you can't be a grown YN. You can't get an apartment. You can't get a townhome. You can't get a house unless you got straight cash. You get what I'm saying? For a home, unless you got straight, you can pass all of those things, which is rare, because them days of just taking money is over with. They want to know where it came from and how much you got in your bank account and the legality of it. So, and then that concept of I'm gonna get a girl to do it and live off a girl, yeah, them days is really over too. Because some of y'all still play that game where I'm gonna be in the streets and I'm gonna get me a girl and she gonna have no G, no, y'all tripping. And I'm not even talking to the young men. I'm really getting at the grown men. You grown in the mug and you out here trying to be a thug. Y'all y'all 30, 35, 40, like still trying to be street niggas. It's like, can I tell you the truth? The truth is, you wasn't a street nigga when you was younger. You just got stuck in the street life. Because this is where it becomes an issue, because you go out and people have, and I'm gonna get into this. A lot of you people who have street mentalities and street lifestyles, a lot of y'all are really sensitive as fuck. Y'all sensitive and soft. That's really the truth. Y'all do a lot of bitch shit. Y'all talk slick to people y'all don't know for no fucking reason. Y'all not playing around. Y'all just over around being insulting and rude to people for no reason. And you looking for trouble. But then when you actually find somebody who with trouble, you niggas don't want trouble. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, what the fuck are we, why are you doing this? And I'm gonna get to the other part of that. A lot of y'all scared to be grown men. Because being a grown man comes with responsibility. It's a weight that goes with being a grown man. A lot of y'all like to be YNs because people accepted you being a loser as long as you're a YN. And YN is just new language for street cat. Really. They've accepted such and such he a loser, he gonna be a loser, he gonna always be a loser, he gonna sit around here do a bunch of loser shit, and then it's like, hey, he got so much talent. And it's like, nah, he don't really have no talent. You can, and people go, nah, people are really talented. And it's like, no, they're not. Because if these people were really talented, they would actually dig into their talent. And a lot of the people, even when it comes to the rap scene, you hear a lot of these people really just ain't got shit else to do. You get what I'm saying? I went to jail, I started rapping. I was in the streets and I ain't had shit to do, I just started rapping. You're right. You was grown as hell with a lot of time on your hands because you was doing a lot of dumb shit. So you started rapping. That's it. And it happened to work for you. It's a countless of people it didn't work for. You find you a niche, cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You making some money at it, cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But excuse me, but that concept of like you said, like allergic to jobs. Let me say this. The concept of work is just ridiculous. Like, here's the thing. And this is where street cats have huge hypocrisy. I said it earlier about the prison. You in the streets being in the streets, wilding out, and you don't follow rules, but you go to prison and you following rules. Same thing with I'm a hustler. I don't want to work for somebody, but you in the streets working for somebody. You in all these industries working for somebody. You can say all that entrepreneur shit you want to do, but you working for somebody. You working for somebody. Even when they had plugs, you working for the plug. Because if you don't have the plug money, you don't just get to walk off into the sunset. You go move my product, bring me my money, and get some more, and bring me my money. And if you don't bring me my money, at the worst, they're gonna put a hit out on you or your family. That's what they do. That's what the streets is. So I don't work for nobody. You a damn lie. You a damn lie. Miss a payment and see what happens. That whole, street mentality it was a bunch of BS. But, the other part about this, man, he said my balls don't roll up with it. That's hilarious. The other part about this, man, y'all first I'm gonna back this up because this is part of thug culture and street culture. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, the tattoos got out of hand. A lot, like just the whole tattoo culture mixed with the street culture, it got out of it just got way out of hand. and I'm gonna say it as nice as I can. Just because you got tattoos, bro, a lot of y'all still look like Bambi. Y'all still look soft. Y'all still look like a little bitch. You know, it does it. You look like a kid, a scary kid who got tattoos to look tough. That's basically what it looks like now. It does. Y'all trying to put that shit on you to make it look like you like that, but it does the opposite. It makes people go, yeah, you not like that. Yeah, you not like that. I don't know what the fuck you was thinking. You know. No, I mean, no, I don't know if L.A. set it off. Really, in my lifetime, it was Tupac. It really, Tupac really exploded tattoo culture because people wasn't really tatted like that, until people saw Pac. And then when Pac got tats, then you saw, it just started progressively getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You know what I'm saying? Because it's jail culture. I think Tupac was the first, and then Allen Iverson just skyrocketed after that. It was weird because it's really jail culture. It started it started earlier, but it was like bikers and soldiers. You get what I'm saying? It was like bikers and soldiers, and then you had gang members. But people back in the day, people in the 70s, if you had a tattoo, it wasn't you had one tattoo. You had one, maybe two. It was people didn't have a sleeve. You know what I'm saying? People didn't have whole chest done. People didn't do that. Not at least in America. But getting back to that, like the tattoo culture got out of hand and y'all just started doing too much. So people started, oh, this is how I look and this is what it got weird. It has gotten weird. And y'all trying to make this assumption that if you wear black all the time and hoodies and get tattoos, it's gonna make you look tough. It's like, no, it don't. Because a lot of times you street cats are so sensitive and soft. Y'all operate like girls. Like y'all, the way y'all process stuff, the way y'all get into stuff, you operate like girls. Like you have a bitchy attitude. So the tattoos don't come off as the image, not the tattoos, just the image doesn't come off as I'm tough. It's just like, here we go with another bitch. That's pretty much what it is. I hate to say it, but that's how it comes off. Excuse me. The other thing, like I said, you can't be a grown YN. The other thing, man, street culture is not. Are people still in the streets? Yes, but see, the fantasy of the streets was, people came from single parent households and poverty and the projects, and they had to just do whatever they had to do to get some money and get out the mud. That was part of the stereotype, 70s, 80s, 90s. Now the street cat is some cat who came from a good family, who had a support system, and who just wanted to I could make it in the hood. I could make it in the street life. Watch. It's like, shut your bitch ass up, man. And part of it, like you said, most lives, like back in the day, there was a lot of people in the streets who came from good families. A lot of the people that y'all thought was like gang banging and dealing drugs, they didn't come from poverty. They really didn't. They came from either working class, middle class families. They just wanted fast money. That's what normally happened. Like part of the gangster life that people don't realize, there were people who were raised in gang life, like their families was gangsters and in the gang life. So pretty much the whole family was in the shit. Just like people who grew up in whore houses. Like they were raised in that, so they might go that route. you know, yeah, a lot of people just doing that stuff. It's not, the streets isn't a thing. Like I need to get money to get out of poverty. That ain't a thing no more. Not really. And even some of the people in the quote unquote hood, they be coming from good families. You know, that's what happens. Somebody just chooses to go the street route because, I was infatuated. Like that. That's the bullshit people. I was infatuated by the streets and the street culture and how the people was just they had all the girls and the cars and shit. And it's like, what's funny though? If you was really in the street culture, there were gangsters who had the girls. They was usually young girls. They had some nice cars. And then all of a sudden, where your boy go? Where's such and such at? He either dead or locked up. They don't tell you how long he had the girls or how long he had the cars, how long he had the money. How long was this guy's run? This guy's run was about a year, 2 years. Because once your name started ringing in the streets, and when I say this, once your name started ringing in the or strung out, you right. Thank you for saying it, or strung out, or wind up dope fiends. Once your name starts ringing in the streets and people who ain't in the streets start hearing about you, your ass is probably going to jail. That's just the reality of it. When people who ain't in the streets go, oh yeah, that's such and such, he doing big things. Oh yeah, you going to jail, G. You going to jail. It is what it is. He said, hey, I never understood that infatuation with the streets. And, when I was a kid, man, like my older cousin used to say, damn, because I was born in New Orleans, the whole family from the 9, if people know what that is, the 9th Ward. So the 9th Ward slogan, I'm from the 9 and I don't mind dying. That's crazy, but that's what it is. It's longer than that, but went to the DMV for a little bit. Lived on the west side of Chicago. And it's like the streets was never exciting. And I could say I had a parent who was living that street life, too. That's kind of what and guess what? My parent came from a good family. But they just I got it. And to this day, still do dumb street shit. And it's like, it doesn't make sense. You can't be, and when I say you can't be a grown YN, it doesn't age well. It don't age well. Like when you want to be a street cat and you 30, 40, 50, I guarantee you're going to look like a fucking fool out here. Because they don't tell y'all, the streets don't tell you how to be a grown man. The streets never told you. The streets are for people with a child's mind. They're not for adults. The streets is not for adults. All right? The street life is not for adults. And people who never grow out of the street mentality, I kid you not, they never grew up mentally. Because you can tell, because if y'all have seen people who were actually in the streets and then they got out of the streets and they always look street. But mentally they're like, look, man, I got kids, I got a family, I got shit I got to take care of. Yes, this is what I used to do. Yeah, I was into it. Yeah, but then it's like, look, man, that was back in the day. that was back in the day. Nah, and some of the cats still dabble, but they go, that was back in the day. I ain't with this shit no more. Cause it ain't what y'all think. It's really not what y'all think. Like, for you, for the women out here, oh, I like a guy with a bunch of street edge. Y'all act like they don't shoot the girlfriend. See, this is not a movie. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know. They shoot the girlfriend, and this ain't a new thing. Like I've talked about it where it's like, yo, nowadays you girls that was setting people up, y'all didn't expect to get popped. But cats started popping y'all. Understand something. Back in the day, the girls wasn't setting people up and they would get the girlfriend. That wasn't an issue. Women have got shot in the house with them, out with them, in the car with them. They never care. And I'm talking about 80s, 90s, 2000s. Don't get it twisted. So even that concept of, I like to be with somebody who in the street, it's like, all right. And you know, I don't, because of my age now, you know, the last time I heard a grown woman talk like that, it's maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. One of my friends, I was like, you talking to what? He's still in the street. I was like, don't go. I wouldn't be with him in public. I like being with him. He gonna get your ass shot. How you gonna say that? Cause if he's still in the streets and you know he in the streets and you ain't in the streets, and street cats frequent street cat spots, he's gonna get shot. And if you with him, they gonna shoot you too. And it's like, the excitement. Yeah, okay. The excitement to get your ass dead. You know, now we got to take it to the other part. You know, you can't be a grown YN. And I say this because of rappers. Rappers really ruined some of you cats on what the streets are and the street lifestyle. And here's the first thing. Rappers aren't gangsters. Let's get that just in a general sense. Rappers are not thugs. They're not gangsters. They're not really with the shit like that. Rappers are artists. Most of them cats are playing a role. They're not built like that. I hate to break the news to y'all. You know, y'all out here thinking that, yo, man, you know, that's like all the rappers, you know, they got a street persona. A lot of them, or a quote unquote street persona, a lot of them are dope fiends. That's what they are. Used to be potheads, not as pot and pills and coke. They were dope fiends. They weren't street niggas. It's not what you think. You get what I'm saying? It's not what y'all think. More like if you put yourself in a room with another rapper and y'all had to close the door and only one person could walk out, if you were in pretty good, decent shape and you know how to at least marginally know how to fight, you're gonna beat 90% of rappers' ass. You know what I'm saying? You know, or they were around. They wasn't even like that. Even that concept. I was around, but I ain't do nothing. No, nigga. No. Look, if you had friends who was in the streets and you wasn't in the streets, and you hung around your friends enough, people who they have issues with are gonna just say, "Hey, oh well, you with them too. You in that gang too. You in that set too. You in this street business too." So, you know, that concept of, you know, hey man, everybody was running. No, they wasn't. Because if you stayed, you was gonna be part of it. Not even if you wasn't in the same. It's like, and now everywhere this nigga go, you there, you in it, whether you like it or not. Because they just gonna make you. They just gonna put you in the shit. And it's like, so a lot of times you had to step up. Like, no, we're not doing this. I'm not finna be in a beef with this gang because I hang out with you. We're not doing that. And if you had any type of friend that had good sense, they'll be like, he ain't in this. That's my dog, but he ain't in this. And even if y'all don't think he in this, if y'all still think it, I don't care. Like it's crazy. But a lot of you rappers, man, a lot of these rappers, people emulated rappers, not realizing that most of these rappers is bitch made. You know, right? A lot of these rappers is bitch made, and I know people don't want to hear that, and I say that because a lot of gangsters, quote unquote gangsters and street cats, they bitch made too. Just understand this: 90% of gangsters and street cats can't fight. They can't punch their way out of a wet paper bag. They can't fight. They were never like that. That's why they join gangs, to be deep with motherfuckers, because they can't protect themselves. That's what that's about. But then you got people who become grown men on that same shit. They talk, you know, and part of what I talk about Um, um, and this part of why, street culture, YN culture. But even now, when you see gun culture, you see like gun culture is on the internet. I got to be strapped. I got to have it on me. I got it could go from street cats to just people who just walk. And a lot of the people who are, let's just say, Second Amendment type of gun nuts, they're just, how can I say that? They're a softer version of a wannabe street cat, a YN. They had the same beards, the same tattoos, the same hairstyles, the same, I'm with the shit, tough guy demeanor. But them niggas can't fight either. That's why they walking around with a Glock 40 on them, and I got this gun and I got that gun and I got a gun in my car and a gun in the truck and a gun in my waist and a gun in my bag. It's like, what the fuck you carrying around all these guns for, G? Oh, I know why. Because you go out in public and do fuck shit. Well, I got to be ready because it goes down at any time. Yeah, I know it go down at any time because you out doing dumb shit all the time. You get what I'm saying? So it's the same premise. Oh yeah. Sir, yeah. Please say that again. Or they with the tough homie, and people don't like. Some people treat the tough homie like a pit bull. They treat the tough homie like a pit bull or a pistol. Like, yeah, I'm with what you call it. It's like, bro, and true story, man. Man, I ain't even gonna say no name. I can't. So I knew a guy who was a tough homie, and the tough homie was taking care of the homie that wasn't tough. And because everybody knew that was the tough homie, they didn't want to engage with that tough homie because he was really tough. Like, no bullshit. Like, all-American middle linebacker tough. Okay? And when I say that, I mean that. So they shot him. They didn't want no smoke with that nigga. Shot him. Killed him. And this was, he was maybe in his 20s then, but I remember him because he got shot while we were in high school. And he's like, yo, such and such got shot. And he came to practice. He just wrapped up because he got shot in the forearm. He just wrapped up his forearm, came to practice, started putting in work. Game Saturday, knocking people out. I'm like, oh God. So people do treat the tough homie like, I got the homie with me, and they'll get the homie shot. Because people, when it comes to people in the streets and the street persona, street people don't really want to be around tough people. Street people don't really want to be around somebody that'll really fuck you up. They get real scared then, like, oh, a win is a win. It's not, G. It's not. Oh, it wasn't. He said they likely shot. No, they shot him out of fear. They knew good and goddamn well they ain't want that problem. But going back to that part, you can't be a grown YN. Like some of you cats who people who are trigger happy. Let me say something to y'all. There ain't no guns in prison, G. And there are some people in prison that if you get yourself in a situation where you're in prison, you're gonna realize, oh my God. You notice how a bunch of these quote unquote street cats, what's up, Doc? You notice how a bunch of these street cats talk about their prison stories and they say, man, I don't belong here. Oh, I thought you was a thug though. Oh, when you around some, because when they around certain people, they go, oh, this is not for me. I still like my grandmama's making cheese. These people around here will break my neck without a second thought. Yeah. That's why I said, part of you can't be a grown YN, G. You can't. And I'm gonna tell you the other part about it. And just street culture in itself. I've never seen so many wannabe street people so fucking fat in my life. Like, y'all, I don't understand how y'all think you couldn't be a drug dealer and be fat. I know people don't realize that. You gotta run, nigga. You couldn't be a morbidly obese or obese street cat. It didn't make sense. Like, what we talking about? You couldn't be how can I say this? You couldn't really be really mouthy if you was a frail built cat. You couldn't be that mouthy. You couldn't walk around talking shit to everybody. It's like, look, bro, every time we go somewhere, you run off at the mouth and I gotta do something and your bitch ass running somewhere. No, G, we're not doing this. But this current street culture is just so out of pocket. You know, and I'm gonna get into the other part about it, about you know, y'all cats on these drugs, man. And I'm gonna just say this: a lot of y'all cats was talking bad about Diddy and the baby oil, and y'all on Percocet. Y'all taking perks, bro. Like, I don't like some of you, like some of y'all been taking perks and wound up with a boyfriend. Like, y'all, you know, like these streets and these drugs then turns y'all into Studio 54. Some of y'all don't know what Studio 54 is, but you know, y'all in the streets, but y'all punks in the sheets. Like, you know, yeah, L.A. police a damn gang for sure. Yeah, they are not were, but y'all in these drug problems. Some of y'all having sexuality problems because of your drugs problems. You know, and appreciate you saying that kids killing their parents on them drugs. Some of these, this is part of the new street culture. Some of y'all beefing with y'all parents. But y'all don't really realize, hey man, if you was in the streets 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, early 2000s, you couldn't live in you couldn't live in a fucking house with your family. If your family was civilians and you was in the streets, you had to get the fuck out. Because it was violent back then, and niggas will shoot up the house because your ass there. You get what I'm saying? That was a thing. Like, you can't live here. That's where getting a girlfriend to put the apartment in her name. That's where that came from. You couldn't stay with your family. It's like, nah, you gotta go, G. You want to be in this shit, you go be in that shit. You can't be here though. Now y'all in the streets and y'all want to run back to your parents' house and oh man, I need you to do this and do that for man. No, you in the streets, stay your ass in the streets. I need, these people looking for me. I need to come home for a minute. No, G, that's not how that go. That is not how that go. Man, listen, man. Let me say this. Even with that, like this is the modern thing. I appreciate you saying that, Dante. This is the modern thing about people in the streets and the whole snitch and rat culture. The vast majority of you cats that's quote unquote in the streets is snitches. Y'all are rats. I don't understand this concept of, oh man, this nigga, he a snitch. That snitch stuff been gone. And truth be told, people was snitching in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s. People been snitching. That concept of, oh man, this guy's a rat. Nobody, bro. Y'all been watching the first 48. All it is, snitch central. How y'all think most of these people got caught up in these crimes and got caught up with these charges? They got ratted on. Period. And even when it comes to that snitching and quote unquote rat culture, if you black and you in the streets, if you do a crime, if let's just say white people do a crime with you, they don't consider snitching on you snitching and being a rat. If a Hispanic did a crime and they blame you, the Hispanic community, their street community, don't consider it snitching and ratting. The Asian community don't consider it snitching and ratting. If they snitch on you because you black, that's not considered snitching. I hate to break the news to y'all. Exactly. But the other thing, even with that situation, you call that man to do some, you call that man to talk business, and you basically set him up. If let's just say if this went down, this is a stunt that he wouldn't have pulled at Gucci Man. If Gucci Man was in Atlanta or Florida, some shit like, he wouldn't have did that. You get what I'm saying? You can't pull guns on a person like that, and if he retaliates, what you first and foremost, Gucci can't quote unquote Gucci can't carry guns on him, right? You ain't supposed to be carrying guns on him. So if you pull a gun on this cat, and he's like, look, bro, yeah, I got robbed, da 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 da. And he probably didn't even talk about it. Really, to keep it a buck with you, Gucci had people with him. They probably told on what happened. Exactly. He already killed somebody. So it's like, bro, like, if y'all really, this whole street culture and people talking about the street culture like that, let me explain something to you. Let's just say Gucci didn't quote unquote rat, right? And he stuck to his old street ways, and he killed Pooh Shiesty and his daddy. Wouldn't nobody give a fuck about Pooh Shiesty or his daddy when they dead? Let's just be real about it. Like, this is the part about the street culture when you grow up, that people act like the street culture's got a real good code and it's real manly. Street culture is a bunch of bitch-made niggas with bitch-made rules. And what happens is they want you to follow the rules of the streets when it's convenient for them. You know, you need to be on point. You need to be a stand-up dude when I could get away with some shit. But hey, bro, like, y'all don't realize, like, this shit ain't real. This shit ain't real. Everybody who's so in love with the streets, if the feds on your ass, you don't love it no more. If the cops you go, oh, fuck. It ain't a happy thing. It's like, man, it shows business IQ. You want out of your contract, right? And here's where some of you young artists don't get it. You sign a deal, most deals in the music industry, bad deals. They're bad deals. I'm gonna just be honest with you. But if you're a rapper, you can make more money out of your deal because you're the writer. You're a writer, so it makes you gonna make more money per se. But here's where y'all fuck up. Y'all want out of these contracts, but y'all don't want to pay for nothing. You get what I'm saying? If you want out of your deal, hey man, how much would it cost me to get out of this deal? Stop saying I want you to just release me. The fuck you talking about? What did you like? That's not how it's gonna work, bro. If somebody gave you $1 million and then you mad because you made them 10 million and you got 2, and you go, just release me, let me go, dog. No, bro, that's not how that's gonna go. What you gonna do is like, listen, how about this? How about on my next album, I give you this part of my profits or the proceeds, or you get your show money up and say, listen, here's $3 million. This is contractually what I could buy myself out. And then, because since y'all so much hustlers, y'all got to figure that. It's like, yo, you can't bully like you said, you can't bully your way out of that shit. Right. You got to pay to get out of your deal, dog. That shit don't work. Even, now I will say this about the music industry and black folks in the music industry. There is a thing where the music industry get bad contracts is just standard. So, but when black folks are doing business with black folks, there are some black folks who screw you over. All right, that's a reality. But in a general sense, that's not what happens. But here's the thing. a lot of times y'all like, y'all want the money and y'all want the fame, but y'all don't want the game. And that's where a lot of like certain guys who known for effing over people, they don't say, hey man, this is the game. You sign this contract, this is what it is, this is what I got you on. But if you want, this is how you make money, this is how you do this, this is how you do this, this is how you do this. Because you gotta remember, Snoop got a bad deal. People forget that. Snoop is an icon in rap. He got a horrible deal. I don't even think he got his publishing to this day. You get what I'm saying? But he's like, okay, for the beginning of his career, beginning on Death Row, I don't think he got his publishing for none of that. So it's like people don't tell you how to, y'all don't know how to maneuver right. That's an issue. And that's the whole, even the YN part. It's like, y'all crazy. They just yeah, but some of these guys ain't broke though. So some of these guys ain't broke. Like, all right, let me break this down. Say, right. Some these guys get upfront money, right? You get the upfront money from your label, and compared to what the label give you, label might give you, 500. Let's just say 500,000. So if the label give you 500,000, just know you probably gonna owe them, when it's all said and done, let's just say 2.5. Let's just say 2.5 before they consider it even, right? Some bullshit, but that's what it is. But once you go on tour, right? You're gonna have songs coming out. You're gonna have shows to do. You're gonna have features. Let's just say that market alone. If you create a hit song, I guarantee you, if you can run that to make a couple of million, you can run that. Think about everybody that you know who got a hit song. Just one. That hit song could get you out of everything. And you tour on that song. If you got 2, 3, 4, that means you got more and more and more. Then you got the royalties from your publishing, unless you're one of the people who sold your fucking publishing. And that would be a problem. As long as you can get your publishing and tour, you can make money. You got some people making, 20 a show, 40 a show, 60 a show, 100. When you get up there, you get 100 and shit like that a show. At that point you start making money, and what happens with a lot of artists and musicians in general, you making so much money that you're buying the shit that you always wanted. You have enough money to buy the shit you always want, and instead of buying the shit you always want, you got to scale that shit back at first. You got to scale it back. Be like, okay, let me, I could get, don't get $1 million house, get a $500,000 house. Don't get the Phantom, get a Benz. You get what I'm saying? You do that shit, and that other money you put to the side, because if you even if you don't buy yourself out of your contract, your next album, you can go, look, I can executive produce this shit. I didn't put my money to the side, so I can executive produce that shit. And if I executive produce it, it's more money in my pocket at the end of the day. But they're not thinking about this shit. Oh no. That's why I say the one hit can get you out of the debt, the label debt. That's what I'm talking about. It ain't gonna set you for life, but it'll definitely get you out of the label debt. If you play that shit right. One hit ain't gonna set you for life, because basically you tour, it spins on the radio or whatever, and you get the most out of that one hit you can, and then it's gonna die down. And it might not be another 20, 30 years before your song comes back up or people sample it. But that run of that one hit, you can definitely get yourself out of debt. Definitely. If it's a hit. But nowadays, man, these cats tripping. Because what they doing is they just overspending. And I say this from a person who knows, I remember back in the day, The same issues you see some people with, like rappers, when they have these issues with jewelers, that's been a thing. That's been a thing. What about these street dads? Oh, let me get that. I talked about it earlier, Dante, but I'll get back to that. You got it. Like, thank you. You got to treat it like a business and learn it. That's let me say that for a second, sir. Appreciate you, IG, because I'm gonna respond to that, and then Dante, I'm gonna get what you was talking about. Okay, here's the thing. The reason why you got to treat it like a business is because rappers are the reason that the record labels made 360 deals. A lot of times, what people don't realize about the music industry, rap is the cheapest form of music to make, and it would make the most money, like off of its product, because it's cheaper to make than R&B, than gospel, than rock and roll, than country. Rap is the cheapest one to make. Period, bar none. So the profit margin is actually bigger with rap. You get what I'm saying? So if you went gold, if you sold 500,000 as a rapper, you know, unless you got somebody like the Neptunes on your shit, who took like 100,000, 200,000 from you, it's crazy. Right. Yeah, I feel you on that. Now, the other part, so you got to play it like a business, but that's the issue. Like, people don't, you know, usually when you're in the music industry, you're younger, so you're not looking at the business part, and part of that is also what young people don't realize about a lot of music artists. A lot of artists are normally older than they say. When artists come out and they say, "Oh, such and such came out and he's 21," he's probably 25. 26. You get what I'm saying? They just say different ages. Usually it's not spot on that somebody's 17 and got a deal. Usually, you know, when they come out, they're older than what you say. But now going back to the thing about the, you know, the street father. Appreciate you saying that. A lot. And this is what I was talking to my wife earlier about. I said this a little bit earlier, but a lot of these people that we think are street cats aren't street cats. You get what I'm saying? They're not. You can't tell me you a street dude and you go, you know what we gonna do? Yeah, son. We all felons. We're gonna put these guns in the bag. We're gonna meet this cat, and if he say yes, it's all good. If he say no, we're going to stick these guns in his face and we're going to rob everybody with them. And if it really go left, we're going to kill him. And then we just going to go home like ain't nothing happened. In a building that got cameras. And you got an ankle monitor on it, so you trapped. Yeah, this is going to work out. That's not a street dude. That's the cat that got everybody locked up. And going back to like just the age of it, a lot of people don't realize this about like guys who was in the quote unquote streets or whatever. Y'all don't realize how many of these guys were actual rats, informants, and just a dumb nigga that got everybody fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't realize like these cats. Like, think about it. Like, okay. Normally how gangs used to work. I don't care. I don't know how they work now. I don't give a fuck actually. But I think it's pretty much the same now. But the cats are older now, which is crazy. But it used to be a guy would be in charge. He might be in his 20s, 25, let's just say. The people working for him could be anywhere from 12 to 18. You get what I'm saying? Juvenile, just 12 to 17, just juvies, just juveniles, just and they working from this grown ass dude who's really a fucking loser, but they don't know it yet because they trying to live that life or whatever. And then as you get older, you start realizing, oh, this like where's the real guy that's in charge, the real boss? And it's like, that nigga don't want to see y'all. Fuck is you talking about? He don't want y'all to see him. And then some of them guys got locked up, and some of the guys that's in charge are the people who got the people locked up that's quote unquote in charge. You get what I'm saying? Some of the people, y'all done got people life charges and all type of other shit. And then the other part about it is some of y'all really don't realize that some of these guys is not really built like that. You get what I'm saying? Like you got guys in their 20s, 30s, 40s who talk all of that street shit, right? But here's the thing. You've been having an enemy for 5, 10, 20 years. And you niggas ain't never did nothing to each other. You know why? Because both of y'all scary. Y'all had everybody else doing y'all a little bit because y'all would y'all could have been hashed that out. Y'all could have been hashed that shit out. You know what I'm saying? We don't, that's the whole gang problem. We don't fuck with them over there. They don't fuck with us over here. We enemies. Why y'all enemies? They don't never want to tell y'all what really happened. You know why? Some of them motherfuckers don't even know what really happened. And the other ones that know what happened, they gonna hide behind the gang. They 30, 40, 50 years old, still hiding behind the gang because you got mad one day and killed this dude's brother, but you hid behind the gang the whole time. You get what I'm saying? So now y'all out here got ops because he's still scared to go over there because he know if he go over there, he gotta meet the dude's brother. And it's like, oh man, what happened? What y'all? It's real street shit. No, it's really you scary, and you'd rather have kids go out there and put themselves their lives on the line because you don't want no smoke. And then the process happens over and over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of y'all be like, these guys really street dudes. No, they not. No, they not. Guys swear they in the streets. They in this gang. They go to jail. They flip and they go into another gang most of the time. If people don't want to tell you that, some of these niggas get religious on your ass because they don't want no smoke in jail. You know what I'm saying? Some of these guys get locked up and then they become a girlfriend. Like, it be all kind of hoe ass shit. And then they just walk around, I'm a street nigga. Yeah. It's like, no, you not. You just, like, you stop it. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? So that concept, if you've been in the streets, would you really want your kid to get themselves locked up behind some street shit? No. Most people who was really in the streets would, when they grow up, they'll tell you it's some bullshit. It's some bullshit. That's what it is. I was out there being young, dumb, doing dumb shit. It's really some bullshit. Even the people who, ain't even who maybe still be a gang member but not active. They like, yeah, I've been doing this. I've been in this shit for 30 fucking years, but I'm not getting into all that shit because it's like it's some bullshit. Right. But Tekashi 6ix9ine is a perfect example of, you can talk all that gangster shit until some gangster shit happen. Until some gangster shit happened, and it's, officer, it wasn't me. It was Jimmy down the street, and they fucked my girl, and oh my God, like, cut it out. You can't be, like I said, you can't be no grown YN, man. You can't. You can't. It don't even go together. Yeah, that's the other thing about certain jails, certain places in America. You get out of you got to go by race, and all of a sudden you locked up, and now you on the same team as the gang that you was enemies of. It's like, it's crazy, it's crazy. But there is no good ending to being a YN, bro. The streets don't love nobody, and I don't know why people love the streets so much. It really don't make sense. The street mentality is not really is not. All right, let me pause when I say this. There is nothing people who really in the streets are really proud of. You know what I'm saying? People play like the hip hop shit make you think people proud of being a drug dealer. They not proud of being no fucking drug dealer. That's just some shit they saying. You get what I'm saying? Like, I made money. Yeah, okay, all right. All right, but you ain't the reason why people say they proud of shit like that is because they don't walk, they haven't come, because they normally leave the places that they caused all that damage, and they don't run into the people that their bullshit affected. You get what I'm saying? They don't I was a drug dealer. You ain't ran into the adult crack baby that you created. You know, like it's like you ain't oh shit, like oh, like a lot of the cats, they ain't proud of being drug dealers. They ain't proud of being gangbangers. Oh man, I was out here, we rolled on them other cats. Man, let me tell you something. This is not a movie. If you was in a situation where you even not even took somebody's life, but even shot somebody or hurt somebody, and you know it was based on some bullshit, you regret that shit. You regret it. You regret it. Y'all really don't know the internal struggle of people who actually took the street route, and now they sitting somewhere like, I don't even know if I will God ever forgive me for the shit am I going to hell for the shit I used to do? Like, damn, like did I just sell my soul for the streets? You know what I'm saying? Like people think it's all like all that shit is not sunshine and roses. You know, and that's thanks for saying it. Like when y'all hear like the rappers and the rappers talking about that shit, man, most of them niggas ain't never done that shit, or they rapping about it, but they might have did it for a week or a month, and then realize, nah, I can't do this shit, but I can rap about it though. You know, that's what it is. Cause I'm gonna tell you, like you know a person who really was in the streets and is the type of person who like, yeah, they have a certain amount of I don't give a fuck to them. People who and what I mean by that is people who were actually really street people, they accepted everything that went with the streets. If I got killed, yep, I was in the streets. If I got shot, because I was in the streets. If I got locked up, because I was in the streets. It's not they have no, like if they got whatever happened to them in the streets, it's like, hey man, whatever happened is what I deserve. I'm out here doing this wild shit, so I got to whatever go with it. That's what I'm dealing with. But a lot of y'all think y'all gonna enter this street lifestyle, and you too good to get popped. You too good to get locked up. No, nigga, you can't. You're nervous because you got ops. You can't be nervous that you got ops. You in the streets. You chose ops. That's what the streets is. Man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's part of that, man. Man. Most of, like y'all, like there's no, like, I can be honest, bro. There's no such thing as street cred. People think there's street cred. That's not, like, street cred is basically people respect you in the hood. But there's no real street cred to like because a lot of people that was doing quote unquote gangster shit, it was a lot of sucker shit involved in it. You get what I'm saying? Some of them people, beat up kids and shit like that. But he got street cred? No, he don't. You know, some of them cats was y'all be thinking mad at R. Kelly and shit, but no. Some of them cats was actually, boy, I'm about to get into that, boy. See, let me say this, especially in the 90s, 80s, 90s, from when I was younger, it was a normal thing for a 25-year-old to be with a 15, 16-year-old. Now y'all get on social media. I didn't like that. No, it was a mutual thing. It was weird as fuck to us, but it was a mutual thing. Okay. you know, that's what they were doing. They were enjoying themselves. I got a grown man, and he was like, I got me a young thing. It's like, yeah, y'all weird as a motherfucker right now. But now people go, I was abused. No, you wasn't. No, you wasn't. You was in the streets. You participated. You know. But the other part about that is, you had a bunch of guys, and I'm gonna say this, a bunch of guys who was older in the streets, they couldn't deal with adults. And that's what people had to find out later. A lot of them cats couldn't deal with adults. They were grown men. They couldn't deal with adult. They couldn't deal with grown women. They couldn't. They just because they were childish mentally. Childish as a motherfucker. How you know that? Because, you know, they were 25 when you were 15, and when you 25 and they 35, they still stupid as a motherfucker. They was, excuse me, they were still, you know, they were lame and corny. That whole the streets cats are, I'm in the streets, and you know what I'm saying, I was really like that, you know, I'm cool because I'm in the street. No, them niggas was retarded. They was retarded. They are retarded. You know, I was really out here doing shit. Don't nobody give a fuck what you was out here doing. You still live with your fucking auntie now. Because you can't live on your own. Who gives a fuck about what you was doing? I was really in the streets. Who gives a fuck? You gotta ask permission to use a car now, and you 30. Who gives a fuck that you was in the streets? Back in my day, back in your day, fuck your day. It's like this is bull. And the reason I said that you can't be a grown YN, people don't take this into consideration. They used to talk about street cats and drug dealers like entrepreneurs, and it's how many entrepreneurs you see that was from the streets. Now I can tell you right now, 2026, I know a few guys that was actually in the streets that actually became entrepreneurs. But in a general sense, no. You know, they're not. Most street people aren't entrepreneurial. They ain't business minded. It's bullshit. Most of them motherfuckers is dumb. That's a box of rocks. And they do dumb shit. And they try to finesse you into doing dumb shit with them, even when they become older. So that's why I said you can't, like, once you become a grown YN, it's over with for you. It's over with. It don't make no sense. It's over with. Yeah, dice, like he said, dice games. No, anybody who's actually even around the streets knows good and goddamn well, if you see a dice game, go the other way. Because 9 times out of 10, if somebody start losing, it's gonna be a fight, or somebody gonna get robbed, or somebody gonna get shot. Because niggas want to play dice, but niggas don't like losing. So if you go to a dice game, you gotta have something. You might as well roll them dice with pointing the pistol somewhere at somebody. Like, nah, I'm gonna get my money and get the fuck out of here. You know. So it's crazy, man. But nowadays, man, the streets is just overrated, man. You know, being a YN is overrated. It's been overrated. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Damn. You know, they ONs. Hey, man. You know, like, if you ever pay attention to, if you've ever been around old crooked officers or old like old people who was in the military who did shit that they're not proud of, you'll notice that crooked cops, old people in the military like that, and sometimes the cops ain't got to be crooked. It's just some of the shit they have to do at work. But in old quote unquote gangsters, you'll notice a lot of them who have a lot of regrets have a drinking or a drug problem. They can't function because of all the shit they did, or the ramifications of the shit they did. They can't live with themselves properly. You know, people play that game like it was all fun. It's not all fun. That's how you wind up. That's how you wind up If you ever seen a guy who was a drug dealer, when he was in his 20s, and you see him in his 50s, he a dope fiend. Like, what happened? It got to him. It got to him. I was freaking. Yeah, I mean, most drug dealers. The thing about the streets, just in general, and this is where a lot of people mess up. The streets is tax-free money. So people really think they're making a lot of money, because they're not getting taxed. Like if you went to work and you made $80,000 a year and you didn't get taxed, you'd be living like a drug dealer. Dead ass serious. I ain't paying no tax because it's tax-free. But the other problem with that shit is, since it's tax-free, you ain't got no fucking health insurance. You all of your expenses are out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? Your lawyer, that's out of pocket. Health, if you get shot or break a bone, that's out of pocket. Like, you mean like Latin Connect? Oh, shit. Shia LaBeouf, I remember that. Like, all that shit out of pocket. That shit don't, like, everything comes out of your pocket. When people used to say, hey man, I let these people hold my money, most of that money got stolen. You got locked up. They stole that money. They used that money. You know what I'm saying? that shit is not what y'all think. You had people talking them dumbass stories. Man, I buried the money and it got molded. When y'all this is the part of being stupid. Anybody would have told you, if you bury money, you have to have that shit basically I was about to say shrink wrap, but airlock wrapped. So air doesn't touch it, so it doesn't get molded. Because if you put it in the fucking ground, the moisture is gonna mold it. Common fucking sense. People made quote unquote money because it was tax free. That's all it was. Yeah, they jacked all the time. That out of pocket. People made up a lot of stories about the streets that made people, because what people thought about the streets was, I can make a lot of money in a short amount of time and have all the free time in the world to just be a kid. I can go party, I can go drink, I could just drive around and do nothing. I can get attention for no good reason. It's like, no, nigga. No. You can't do that. Common sense, because if you was in the streets like that and you doing that dumb shit, you on the cops' radar, dumbass. Like, people don't. You got to grow up and be an adult. A lot of y'all look the same, shop the same, wore the same clothes, bought the same jewelry. Y'all is the exact same person all the time. Just everybody was the same. Y'all got the same fucking paint jobs. You got the same fucking rims. You got the same cars. Y'all did all the same shit. That's how y'all got caught. And now what you see is people trying to emulate that. That's why everybody got the same fucking tattoos, the same fucking car, the same fucking lingo, the same janky ass attitude. Y'all buy the same fucking guns. Y'all go to the same places. It don't even make no fucking sense. It don't even make no sense. Even if y'all wear different colors, it's still the same fucking shirts and jeans. It don't make no sense. Yeah, same horrible baby mama's hilarious. Oh, and speaking of that, since you brought that up, when y'all street cats get older, y'all have some ugly ass women. See, y'all we talk about it how, when people were younger, the street cats had all the fine girls. They were dating the high schoolers. When you got grown, street cats, big back, bad built broads. That's what they get. You know, she 5'6", 280. That's who y'all getting letters from in prison. You know, that's who your pen pal. That's who you going to live, trying to live with and get a place to stay. Big back, bad built broads. But you man, you know what I'm saying? I had all the hoes. Not, it's not like the streets is not like people be lying about. Like the street life is just overrated, bro. People say because people smoke weed and wear shades and have tattoos, they like, I'm in the streets. You know, is it why? Like, you know, y'all street cats be having them abusive ass girlfriends, be smacking them around. You're in the streets, but hey, you know, them girls be violating the fuck out y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna call the cops on your ass. I'm gonna tell them you got dope in the house. Like they be doing the most with y'all cats. You know, exactly. They be doing the most with you street cats, boy. You know, oh man, you know, we going through something right now. Y'all ain't going through nothing, nigga. She knows she got you over a barrel. You ain't got a job. I'm trying to do shit. I didn't see motherfuckers 50 years old still selling pit bull puppies. Like, and I'm dead ass serious. Yo, hey man, let me get, hey man, you want, I got a couple, I got a little that just happened. Oh, fuck. But you younger cats, y'all want to be this so bad, and part of this, like, I got to go back, like, because of the thing, you know, with Pooh Shiesty, using Pooh Shiesty as an example, not necessarily, but all you young cats who's wearing the quote unquote Pooh Shiesty mask, this could be y'all future, dead ass serious. That's why I'm like, because I saw y'all in these goddamn Pooh Shiesty masks doing them. Like the reason I didn't like those masks. Y'all was going to fucking graduations in them, fucking like just dumb shit. You ride all the way to church with the shit on, and you got to take it off to go into church, and then you put it back on. You motherfuckers was going to airports with fucking Pooh Shiesty mask on, just doing dumb ass shit. I got ops out here. What the fuck are you doing? I'm gonna go to prom with the Pooh Shiesty on. What the? Summer basketball. Like, what the fuck? It's 100 degrees outside. You got a damn Pooh Shiesty on in a hoodie. That's why your ass only weigh 103 pounds. I'm not hot out here. Nigga, you ain't got enough weight on you to be hot. You don't even sweat. Church, what the Church and the Nation of Islam got to do with this shit? Nothing. Church didn't tell you to go to get in the streets. Nation of Islam didn't tell you to go get in the streets. The nation helped you get out of the streets. It's not nobody else. It's not nobody else's responsibility to get you out of the streets when you done dove your dumb ass in it. You did it, bro. You know, if I do some dumb shit and it costs me stuff, I gotta eat that. You know. But and I said, like, when you're younger and you like, this is, let me back this up. A lot of you young cats, let me say what this is. A lot of people got into the gangs and the street life, you know, when they would say they wanted camaraderie in a family environment. That's bullshit. What happened was, you weren't physical enough for football. You weren't athletic enough for baseball. Basketball. You didn't wrestle. You didn't want to box. You know, maybe you played baseball. Maybe you probably didn't, because they don't play it as much in the hood now. You didn't lift weights. you really didn't like you really wasn't that bright. You didn't do chess. You didn't do science. You was just a stupid motherfucker. And you didn't have the heart to do anything physical. And the reason I can tell you this, because most people who live in any type of gang culture, in any culture, guess what most of the gangsters do a lot of time? Dance. Let's just be real. Most the quote unquote thugs and gangsters dance. They're dancers. And I ain't just talking about crip walking and blood walk. They go from West Coast all the way to the East Coast. Niggas dance. That's what a lot of the street cats was doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He'll kill you, but he be out there popping and shit. And it's like, these niggas crazy. They dancers. That's the way I express myself. Like, whatever, nigga. Across the board. Every ethnicity, same thing. They got a certain music, they dance. And it's like, how you niggas... told y'all niggas fruity. Yeah, y'all get together and y'all start dancing together. You know, but we go to a party and it be girls there, you shoot it up. Don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Look, in the Midwest, look, West Coast crump and crip. Look, Midwest be juking and all that other shit. I forget half of the names, but it's the same thing. The Midwest do all the juking and shit. There's certain remnants of that in parts of the South, but it's pretty much all dancing. It's a weird combination to me, you know. But most of them won't play football. Footwork. That's juking and shit. He said it's stanky. Like, think about it. Right now, the Dallas culture, I'm a Ben. It's like y'all swear y'all shooting shit and y'all doing that weird ass dance. He's a leader Midwest. Dude, I grew up in the Chi. I'm from the Chi. Don't you know, usually the older people do the two-stepping and the stepping. You know, young cats, y'all be out here doing these dances. Like, I'll kill you after I do this Dougie on your. I'm finna bend on his ass after I pull his pistol out. And it's like, bro, you know you look like a fruit pop right now, right? You know, but it is what it is, man. I'm just saying, man. You cannot. Y'all don't grow up to be no YN, dog. You know. Yeah, Dallas be having some fucked up haircuts. That we've been saying that for years. You know, all over the South. You know, think about it though. For all you cats that like NBA YoungBoy, they be retarded ass and weird ass dances y'all be doing. All the street people got street dances, and you be like, y'all tripping. You know, it gets he's at the 2 cold tea. It be weird, man. Like ain't nothing worse than an old street nigga, or even when it's a woman. Ain't nothing worse than an old street chick. It's like, what? You wasted your life, bitch. And I mean, bitch in both sexes. You wasted your life. Like, it's not cool, man. But I'm gonna get out of here, man. I'm gonna go spend time with my wife, man. I'm on these shenanigans, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I've been on here an hour and 30 minutes, man. I'll catch y'all later, man. Peace.
It looks like a job for Superman.
Do this,
Spoken from the lips of the young or the old, fear of me.
Yeah. Gotta put it all in.
And they are Superman.
All the way.
I guess I'm taking off the cake through the glasses in the trash. Being super is great, saving y'all is such a drag. Even God took a break, me I ain't coming back. I got one life to live, if you don't like it, that's your ass. Cause nobody saved me, cause when I walk I'm just a peon. I could use somebody just like I'm the kings of neon. This world is cold as ice, me mixed with salt, mixed with Freon. They got me pissed off, but that's better than being peed on. For eons, human beings took kindness for weakness. When you constipated, you start to appreciate shit. Put before you life and death, and you just gotta choose. The kryptonite life means you still follow the rules. If your credit's messed up or your bills ain't paid, then it's getting disconnected. Can't nobody say the day. And I can fly, leave a building in a single bound, but I can't stand farewell to friends and I just fly around. My super friends in Justice League, only folk I kick it with. Kill Lex Luthor, so what, we had to finish it. Kids play games and adults play for keeps. And me, I play to win, but I ain't playing in these streets. And life is not a joke, then again it ain't this serious. Superman can say the day, but God can say the Superman. Saga of the kryptonite, life just ended. You enjoy listening? Man, I finished it. Lois, come holler at me. I got an iced couch. Thank you. Coming out, listening. I knew you would like it because we made it. I'm so frigid and so fly.